Now, a Target 12 Investigators exclusive, an international scheme the FBI calls the Traveling Conman fraud.
That's right. Irish and UK nationals in the U.S. to swindle local homeowners out of thousands. Target 12 investigator Sarah Guernelli has been looking into these groups and is here now with what you need to know about these transnational criminal organizations. Sarah?
Federal investigators say the scheme is simple. It starts with a knock on your door from someone claiming to be a prominent contractor, saying they can fix your driveway or your home's foundation for a reasonable price. But once that construction begins, so do the headaches.
It's very much a family-based criminal organization.
Eamon Dillon is an Irish journalist. He's been tracking what the FBI calls the traveling conman fraud for years. He says small groups of family members from Ireland or the UK make their money by swindling homeowners.
I mean, you're talking even from the age of 8 or 9, they're on the road with the family groups. They're not necessarily attached to any particular town or community. They're at their daddy's elbow, so to speak, and they're listening to what's going on.
He says once these young family members get older, they're well schooled in the art of scamming.
They come across as charming. They're good at personal kind of relationships. They're good at one-to-one, and they've been doing it and witnessing it since they were such a young age.
He says they create legitimate-looking websites, often with fake reviews, and claim to specialize in masonry work to fix a home's foundation, a driveway, or a roof repair.
Once they get their hooks into you, the price goes up, there's more demands for money.
This scheme has made headlines in Europe, Australia, Canada, and here in Rhode Island. The U.S. Attorney's Office recently charged 2 men they say are a part of this traveling conman scheme. In February, this man, 29-year-old Elijah Gavin, was taken into custody. The U.S. Attorney's Office says he's a British national who defrauded 6 homeowners in New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island out of nearly $1 million. Court records show a 78-year-old Rhode Island woman paid more than $850,000 for unnecessary foundation and basement repairs. According to the UK's Department of Justice, Gavin went on the lam in 2022 after being wanted for several crimes, including burglary.
This is a guy who has a record of taking money off vulnerable people, and he also has violent convictions for violence in Northern Ireland as well.
Then most recently in April, 28-year-old John O'Brien was arrested for a similar scheme. Federal authorities claim he bilked several homeowners in Massachusetts and in Rhode Island. 83-year-old Air Force veteran Don Fife told Target 12 O'Brien knocked on his door, offered to repair the foundation of his home, and then he says O'Brien demanded a hefty fee. That's when police got involved.
So I wrote a check out for $9.95, and then the next day there was more damage, and now he said this is a $95,000 project. $95,000.
Rhode Island U.S. Attorney Sarah Myron Bloom sat down with Target 12 and says the case is a part of a new Trump administration initiative called Take Back America.
One of the focuses of that project is a focus on transnational criminal organizations. And as I mentioned, these sort of traveling conmen home repair schemes have been designated as part of a transnational criminal organization, and so pursuing these is consistent with the Take Back America project.
Both O'Brien and Gavin have been charged with wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Gavin has also been charged with money laundering, and court documents show a hearing has been set for Gavin to change his plea. For O'Brien's case, court documents show that they're working towards a plea agreement. We reached out to both of their attorneys but haven't heard back. Coming up at 6, we speak with one man who believes his parents fell victim to a similar construction scheme and what state regulators say you should be aware of. With the Target 12 investigators, Sarah Guernelli, 12 News.